Hello and welcome back to the MJM Grand Sports Talk Show. I'm Matt Shalloe, joined alongside by McSpedon and Justin Bott. How are you boys doing today on this Tuesday?
I'm doing fantastic.
We got two goods. You guys both doing good?
It's tough.
The lack of hearing. Before we start tonight, just want to say rest in peace to our president, Dr. Dennis Shapiro, passed away late Sunday night after his long battle with COVID-19. So just want to start by saying that because I know we've ended the past couple shows by asking for the get well wishes. So today we just wanted to start by saying rest in peace to him and thinking of his family.
School, for sure. But more importantly, he was a even better man. So our thoughts and prayers are with him and his family, and just awful news to kick off the week.
Yeah, rest in peace to President Shapiro.
Sure. Like I said, thoughts go out to his family and just wish them well. We had some news yesterday, right? Yesterday?
Yes.
J.J. Watt finally made his decision. From Arizona, played with his buddy DeAndre Hopkins, former teammates in Houston. So, comes as a bit of a surprise because he said he wanted to play for a contender. And when I think of the contenders, I'm not going to say the Cardinals are bad, but when I think of contenders, they weren't really the first team that came to my mind. And it seems like there were better suitors, the Bills, Packers. I didn't even say the Titans are a bit of a better suitor in terms of winning a Super Bowl. But he chooses the Cardinals. He gets 2 years, $31 million, which to me I think is a lot. Like you heard me say in the last show, I probably would have paid $10 to $12 million. Teams up with Chandler Jones. Both of them, when healthy, two of the best pass rushers in the NFL. Keyword is when healthy, though. But when they're on the field together next season, that's going to be pretty deadly. I mean, I'm not sure which one you're supposed to double cover, or double block, whatever. But I don't know. I'm just kind of shocked he went to the Cardinals. Like I said, I think they're going to take another step forward next year. They took a little bit of a step forward this year, had a bit of a disappointing end of the season. I know we've talked about the show a lot about Cliff Kingsbury and his coaching, whether we agree or disagree with it. I'm not really sure if he's that good of a coach yet at this point of his career. But I don't know. So Cardinals, interesting. I thought he was going to go to the Packers. I really did. I thought it was going to be Packers or Bills, one of the two, but here we are.
Yeah, no, this one came completely out of left field for me. Like I know they were saying, I guess it ended up being a fake Peloton account that said Super Bowl 56, Cleveland, Green Bay, or Buffalo. But I mean, we kind of figured it was those teams, maybe the Titans, and the Cardinals. Like that just came completely out of left field, and I guess at the end of the day, it makes sense for the deal he's getting. But I don't know, like, are they contenders? Sure. I don't think they're not a serious contender though in my eyes. Like
such a tough division too. Like I don't know.
Like they're not a serious contender in my eyes. Like a Green Bay, Buffalo, Cleveland. Like those are teams that I can see winning the Super Bowl next year. The Cardinals, I can't sit here right now and say this is a team that's going to go and win the Super Bowl. Like I think they'll be decent. They could definitely be a wild card team now, but I don't know if it's past that. Now they definitely could prove me wrong. But when he said contender, I was a bit surprised by this one.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there. Personally, after their not fantastic end to the season, I believe they ended 8-8. Just not ideal after their huge win against Buffalo in the Hail Murray, as they called it. And you thought they had all the momentum, and they just couldn't really buy a win after that.
Yeah, well, they did kind of go into a bit of a tailspin and started to struggle. But they were missing Chandler Jones for most of last season. He suffered the season-ending injury around, I want to say, 5 or 6. But so now you're adding him back with J.J. Watt. Defensive tackle Jordan Phillips, a little bit of a sack artist for Buffalo Bill, also missed a lot of last year. So their defensive line is going to get 3 huge bolsters to a defensive line that already, they went out and they traded for Marcus Golden last year around the deadline. I mean, they got some good pass rushers. They have a bit of a problem at corner because I believe Patrick Pearson's a free agent. It doesn't sound like he's going to be back there. That's where I think they probably go in the draft with pick 15 or 16, whatever it is that they have. But the offense is obviously good. Kyler Murray's only going to get better. DeAndre Hopkins is one of the best, if not the best wide receiver in the NFL. Other than that, I think Kenyon Drake's a free agent, but I mean, they can bring him back. I think him and Edmonds are both free agents, so they're pretty set there. I just don't know if they can contend for a Super Bowl, let alone that division. Like, to me, it's right now with Russell Wilson still being a Seahawk, and obviously the way the Rams got better, and then the Niners, obviously, they're going to be
back to tough division.
They're going to be healthy again next year. I mean, the Cardinals still very well might be the 4th best team in their division.
Yeah.
just as well as I can see them finishing fourth, I can see them winning it though. I mean, it could go any which way of directions, like we were saying. So like, I don't know. A lot of things would have to go right for the Cardinals to be Super Bowl contenders, I think. And it starts with Kyler Murray. If he takes another huge step forward, sure. Obviously, a team with a good quarterback, any team with a good quarterback's right in it. But I don't know. It'll be tough to see. Like I said, a little bit. Their coaching mishaps a little bit sometimes seem to hold them back. They're going forward on almost every other. If it's like 4th and 3.
Yeah, Cliff Kingsbury is insane.
It doesn't matter what yard line they're on. They're always going for it. And every time I watch the Cardinals, it seems like it hurt them more than it helped them.
Here we got a comment from Tyler Huey. Do you believe Cliff Kingsbury can lead this team to the playoffs?
That's a good question.
He can, but I think Cliff Kingsbury might mess it up.
Yeah, that Cliff Kingsbury, especially after last season, those final few games, I really lost a lot of trust in him. He made some real boneheaded moves. That Week 16 game against San Fran, it's like a 4th and 8. It's a 4th and 8 in the fourth quarter at his own 35-yard line. He's going for it. Like, dude, you're only down 1 score. The Niners' offense is depleted. You can stop them and get the ball back. And he set his team up for failure quite a few times. And then even that Rams game, they get the pick 6 right before half. They were in field goal range. What's Cliff doing throwing the ball with who was the quarterback again? That XFL guy? He was jacked, but I mean, what are you doing? Why are you throwing the ball? That's where you hand it off and take points against one of the league's best defenses. And here he is. He's throwing deep passes down the middle of the field, and it's picked off. 6 points, game over. I don't know. The Cardinals, they have a world of talent. There's a lot of talent on the roster, but Cliff Kingsbury, he concerns me because he's
Chris Streetlow.
Yes. Like there's being aggressive, and then there's Cliff Kingsbury. And Cliff Kingsbury is being an idiot. Yeah, and Cliff Kingsbury, he's got to tone it down here, especially in that division. It's kill or be killed. And
yeah, I'd say that he's maybe the worst coach in that division. You got Pete Carroll, Super Bowl winner, obviously, the great Legion of Boom defenses. Sean McVay, offensive genius from what he did. Yeah, he's very young too. I forgot to point that out. But Kingsbury is also young, so you got to factor that in. Yeah, well, a lot of young, and then there's Pete Carroll. But
other NFL news right before we came in here, actually, the Vikings released Kyle Rudolph after his 10 years as a Viking.
Irv Smith time.
Those are a team that need a tight end. It's a little interesting. I mean, it's a good red zone target, good third down target.
He's a good red zone target.
Be nice to pair with Dawson Knox. Shouldn't be too expensive. That'd be kind of interesting.
I could see it.
What are your thoughts on that?
I'd definitely be interested in that because I see a whole lot of throwing a Lee Smith, the blocking tight end, on the goal line, and Kyle Rudolph. Well,
I want Zach Ertz.
Yeah. Just depends what the cost is on Ertz. But maybe they cut him too.
I think he's going to get cut, but I just don't know what his next contract, what his next number will be. Because obviously, like I said, bringing back guys like Milano and even like Isaiah McKenzie, small pieces like that to me are priority number one before you go and sign anyone else. Feliciano and Daryl was
Williams.
I'm going to say Daryl
I
Williams.
almost said Daryl Roberts. Daryl Williams. You got to bring back your guys first. But yeah, Zach Ertz would be nice. And then Kyle Rudolph, I feel like would be a nice, like I said, red zone target, third down target. Pair him with Dawson Knox, and I'm interested. But I guess we'll have to see. Shall we talk some Bonnie's hoops?
Yes. Crushing loss last night.
Yeah, crushing loss. Obviously playing with the heavy hearts.
Heavy hearts, and it was a rescheduled game. I didn't like it when I saw it at first. I definitely was not a fan of that game. Thought that could be a tough one, and proved out to be a tough one. First home loss of the season.
Now the A-10 tournament will kick off tomorrow. The Bonnies will not play, though, until Friday at 11 as the number 1 seed.
Yes, against Duquesne or Richmond, I believe, right?
Duquesne or Richmond. They're the 1 seeds left the 8-9 game. And then if they win that, they play Saturday, most likely.
Oh, boy.
Well, I shouldn't say most likely because it'll be 4 versus 5, but they could be matched up with St. Louis.
Oh, boy.
And that never really goes well.
Oh, we know how that one goes.
I don't know. But yeah, tough loss yesterday to Dayton. But do you think that the Bonnies have done enough to this point to give themselves an at-large bid? Should they not win the A-10 tournament?
I wanted to say yes, but
I feel like it just looks tough.
Here's the thing. You're not a big-time power conference like the ACC or the Big Ten. And yes, the Bonnies have played well this year, and they're going to be even better next year. There's no doubt about that. But you can't, especially in the last week, this is the important week, you cannot drop your final 2 games and be on a downward spiral heading into that selection Sunday. The committee, it's not going to look good. It's going to be like, oh, they're playing their worst basketball at the biggest time of the year. Now, I know, yes, yesterday playing with heavy hearts, and unlike the previous 2 games, the 3-point shot was brutal yesterday. And but the defense has been good. So, I mean, I think definitely, though, they have to beat Richmond or what's it called? Yeah, Richmond or Duquesne.
Yeah, getting 1 win should be enough.
So I think as long as they win that, they should be good. And yeah, I did see that earlier as Tyler Healy brings up. Bonnie's, according to Joe Lunardi, are currently a 10 seed, but you don't want to give the committee any doubts. And I feel like Friday, regardless of who the opponent is, you need to win. And then if something happens after that and you slip up, you should be all right. But the most important thing is you cannot give the committee any doubts, especially for the conference that you're in. So Friday's game may not seem like it for a 1 seed, but it's a massive game for the Bonnies, in my opinion.
What do you think?
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Bonnies to win it?
Yeah, I think they'll win the first round, but it's just what you brought up, going up against St. Louis.
Never ends well. Never ends well. Seems like it never ends well.
Yeah, but VCU, I thought if we had to go up against them, then it would be in our favor because Bones Highland is currently injured. But St. Louis, pretty much everyone healthy on their roster. So that would definitely be our hardest matchup from anyone in the A-10, in my opinion. I think if the Bonnies don't win the tournament, it's going to be St. Louis. Just because, I think Bones Highland is actually day-to-day, so it's not like an extensive injury, but you don't know. Like if he plays.
I know he's been out for the past week or so. I don't know how that works in terms of when he'll be back or whatnot. But
yeah, because
he goes. So.
Because he's obviously a great player. But I saw TeamRankings.com has the Bonnies 64% chance to make an at-large bid. Actually, an 84% chance to make the tournament, like, overall. So that's a great percentage, but obviously you never know. But I think they've done enough so far, especially being like the regular season champs, to get in. And I saw a lot of projections saying they're a 10 or 11 seed, and I think they could definitely make it in as a 10 or 11.
I really do think they should. But yeah, we'll have to see. Right at 11 will be interesting.
Now, here's the question. Do you think they can win the A-10 tournament? Would you say they're favorites, or are you giving it to someone else?
I'd have to say going into it that they are favorites, obviously, as the 1 seed. Seems like, because they've shown that they can beat just about anyone except for St. Louis, like I said. But even VCU, they lost down there, but they did beat them here. And now, they were to match up with them again, take it to a neutral court. You really get to see that tiebreaker. But for me, if it's not, like Bott said, if it's not the Bonnies, it's going to be St. Louis because St. Louis beat the Bonnies. Like, I think it's going to be one of those 2 teams. Not that I'm writing out VCU. I just think St. Louis is a very deep team. I think they're the 5 right now, right? Or the 4?
I believe the 4. Yeah, they're the 4.
I don't know. To me, they're just a deep team. I look at Hassan French, the big guy in the middle, who I think this year, Bonnie's held him in check a little bit, but I think it was last year when he had like 20 some points and 15 rebounds in that game where St. Louis, it was the final game of the regular season, and St. Louis didn't win by like 35 or something.
Yeah, St. Louis.
And he's just tough to deal with, and he provides a mismatch. The Bonnies have one of the best centers in the conference in Oshuna. Don't get me wrong, but he still provides a mismatch with him. He's just too big. He's too strong. To me, I don't know. He might be the X factor in this tournament in that game against the Bonnies. Should they meet up? Should the Bonnies and St. Louis win? St. Louis might not even win the first game. We might be putting the cart before the horse here, but should they meet up, I think he is the difference. And I think he would be the difference in a game against VCU as well in the final, presuming my predictions are correct. But yeah, if it's not the Bonnies, I think it's going to be St. Louis. I guess I have Bonnies as slight favorites, but if I had to pick another team, it's St. Louis Billikens.
Yeah, definitely. If you want to go, you can, but you want me to go? All right, I'll just.
He can't hear you.
No, yeah, remember that, Bot. So I'm just looking at the screen. When you talk, I stop.
Sorry. So St. Louis, I think that I don't want to say I think they're gonna win it because yeah, but something to point out. St. Louis lost to the Rams, VCU. a few days ago, and also in the month of February they lost by 23 to Dayton. So I mean they are beatable, and Dayton actually beat them twice, which is pretty surprising. Considering
Dayton was a weird team all year.
yeah, they're seventh in the conference, and they've had like
had their ups and downs. I mean,
they lost to St. Joe's. They beat St. Louis by 23, so they're just like an up and down team, and they're honestly a dark horse team to win the A10 tournament, in my opinion. Yeah. Because of how streaky and it's like if they get hot at the right time, they can make a run. But if I really like the Bonnies at this point, even though they just came off that loss, I think they have what it takes to beat St. Louis, since we've seen that maybe losing a little momentum because they lost to VCU. It was only by 3, but yeah, it's just hard to say. But I'll pick the Bonnies to win the A10 tournament.
There you go. I'll pick the Bonnies.
There you go. I like it.
Right.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. Bonnies or St. Louis. I don't know.
VCU will probably win now.
I think VCU is going to be in the championship game, but I think in a neutral setting, because as Huey said here, he said very close game against VCU as well in the second game. That was at VCU. I feel like in a neutral setting, like VCU doesn't really have that energy of their home crowd, and Bonnies, I feel like they're more accustomed to play in a neutral setting or a road environment setting, where I think VCU, a lot of it is a lot of their success is at home. Like we saw, what was it, Saturday? They were in Davidson, struggled, and that ultimately ended up giving Bonaventure the A10 regular season championship. So I would say it really does come down to, I am predicting that it will be Bonnies and St. Louis in the semifinal. It really does come down to that game, in my opinion, because I think if I had to make a bold prediction for that game, I think Bonnies finally ends their St. Louis curse. This is the year. They've done a lot of good things this year.
A weird year.
And I think the St. Louis game was close.
No, it was.
It was closer than the previous year. So I think, a neutral setting could definitely help that. So, yeah, I like the Bonnies odds, but I feel like definitely as long as they win one game, they should be in the tournament. So, but get ready. It's an important week ahead, and nothing better than some early Friday morning Bonnie basketball.
Mr. Tyler Huey said any lower seeds that can make it to the semis or farther. I'm looking at Rhode Island. They're 10 this year, 7-10 in conference, 10-14 overall, but they still have Fats Russell running the point. And I mean, they've kind of gone as he's gone the past couple of seasons. And they'll play Dayton in that first game, the 7-10 game. I think they knock off Dayton, and then they'll go from there. They'd have to play VCU from there, being the 2. And who knows? I don't know, but Dayton too, just as well. About said, I mean, they're one of the lower sneaky seeds. And I think whoever wins that game should be Dayton or Rhode Island. I think they give VCU a good game. And another team is Richmond. They were close to being ranked towards the start of the year, and then they went on pause, off pause. It's just been a weird year, like I said, overall. And right now they're the 8. So I don't know. They could be one of those lower seeds to see making a run, but obviously they'd have to play. Should they beat Duquesne, they have to play the Bonnies, and I mean you'd have to go through the 1 seed.
Mason's a team I could see making a bit of a run. They've had some impressive wins, and I feel like there's always. So I think that's a great question from Tyler Huey. There's always in the conference tournament at this time of year. It's March, as they say, as John Rothstein loves to say. This is March. There's always a surprise team that makes a run in a tournament. Doesn't mean they win it all the time, but they make a run, and it's, whoa, we didn't expect them to make it this far. And I feel like Mason has that sort of magic, and they could surprise a few people. Not win it, but they'll surprise a few people.
What time will tell? Starts tomorrow, like I said. Bonnies will play Friday at 11 a.m. Friday morning Bonnies, Ryan said.
Love it.
We're going to take our first break here, and when we return, we will talk about talk some hockey.
Coach Tibbs.
A team that's in the bottom of the league in the Buffalo Sabres. So we got a little bit of both. Stay with us. You're listening to the MJM Grand Talk Show on WSBU The Buzz. We'll be right back. And we are back.
Welcome back.
MJM Grand Sports Talk Show. Welcome back to you as well. Justin, welcome back.
Welcome back to you as well.
So, like we said, the Knicks, 18 and 17 right now, sit
That's
at
four.
fourth in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah,
Knicks, I don't know if you read it there on your screen. Crazy, right?
4 seed. I mean, we're currently ahead of the 2 Eastern Conference finalists last year, the Heat and the Celtics, another playoff team, and the Pacers. Where did this come from? I mean, I thought this would maybe be a somewhat competitive team under Tips, but 18 and 17 right now. Wow.
Love the Knicks, but good time. So.
Oh, there's no settling down. I've waited 8 years for this. I mean,
No, you come out of
when the inevitable happens, yeah. But for right now, I'm living up every moment.
It's Thursday. Come out of the break. You have to play the Nets.
Yeah, that's no problem.
But they beat you by 20.
Who did?
The Magic.
Yeah, after we beat them at the Garden.
But just the Sixers twice. Like, I just think it's gonna get I think they're gonna.
I understand. It is going to get tough. It is.
But they do get it the game tonight against the Spurs. Then you get to play the Pacers again, right?
Pistons.
Or the Pistons again. So I mean, there's chalk up some get some wins in there. But then, like I said, Bucks. But then you do get to play Thunder. You play the Thunder.
Look at Finn, man. Nick should trade for Carmelo.
Nick should trade for Carmelo.
I always wanted Melo back. I said it last year. I wanted Melo back bad.
But yeah, no. Then that leads me to my next point. Julius Randle's not going to get shit. He's good, but they need someone else beside him.
They need someone to put next to him. Yes, I 100% agree.
Quickly, just yet. It could be later in the year.
If he gets more minutes,
Reggie Bullock has to be on the starting lineup.
And here's the first step, and this is why the Knicks have won the last 3 games. Keep Elf on the shelf. No Elfrid Payton. He's done. I don't want to see him anymore. He stinks. Get him away.
True. I mean, they have been winning lately, and he has been out. But I don't know. I don't know, because you still have teams behind them in the standings that are going to be there in the end. You know what I mean?
Yes, I understand.
Like the Heat, the Celtics.
Do I think 4 seed's going to happen? No. I love it right now, but 4 seed, I just don't think that's going to happen.
15 and 18. But I mean, after that, the Knicks should easily. They'll definitely be in the play-in tournament.
Yeah, there's no reason why they shouldn't be in the play-in tournament.
I think they'll be, but yeah, staying in that top 6 or going to the play-in tournament will be tough. You got the Sixers, Nets, Bucks. Right now, the Knicks, but then right behind them, the Heat, Celtics, Raptors. But I mean, hey, they're a half game better than those teams right now.
That's true.
A big one tonight.
Keep Elf on the shelf, absolutely. McSpedon, keep Elf on the shelf.
Chance to take another step forward, I guess.
Finn Man's on fire. He says IQ Peyton.
Head coach doesn't think so, though.
Unfortunately not. But hey, he's getting a little more minutes, so as long as Elf's on the shelf.
Any comments on the Knicks?
Yeah, I think they'll make the playoffs, but they're not going to stay at the 4 seed. Obviously, you mentioned their schedule coming up. It's going to be tough to win a majority of those games. But yeah, the East, every year it's weaker than the West. So a team that only gets 30 wins can make it in. So I could see them definitely making it in.
I kind of already said no, but do you guys think the ability of Julius Randle is enough to actually carry a team to the postseason?
I don't believe so.
He's a great player. He's an all-star.
With the East, how it is this year, yes. But my biggest concern, they need to pair someone with him, whether it's at the trade deadline or if they want to keep their pieces and see how this team goes and wait till the offseason. Someone needs to be paired with Randle, because we've seen it at times. The few times Randle doesn't have it, the Knicks, yes, sometimes someone like an RJ or a Rose can get hot. Even as much as I don't like Mr. Payton, he's had the once in every 10, 15 games he plays well. But at times, Randle could be bailed out. But there's also been numerous stretches, and you mentioned it, that 20-point loss to the Magic was one of those stretches where if Randle's struggling or if they're taking Randle out of the game, then it just becomes stagnant offense, bad shot selection. And the Knicks, the biggest thing as to why the Knicks are 18 and 17 is they're second in defensive rating, and their defense is the biggest. They don't give up. I think they're only giving up 104 points per game right now, and a lot of it is due to actually Nerlens Noel, who a guy I was just kind of, when they signed him, I was like, But now with Mitchell Robinson out until at least another 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks with his broken hand, Nerlens Noel has taken the starting center gig, and he is completely dominated. He's a big-time menace in the paint. He blocks shots. He gets offensive rebounds. Obviously, defensive rebounds, all important. And, I know stuff like people look in the box score, they're like, oh, well, points. But Noel does everything defensively that impacts the game, and he's really one of the big reasons as to why the Knicks have been able to win these last three and take control of the 4 seed. And it's just, I don't know. The only question I have is, and I know I said to you right before the show, I want Bradley Beal bad. I want a superstar bad, but
what would you have to give up?
What would you have to give up? Obviously, the future of the team, and more importantly, this is an issue that I spoke about with some family members at home and some friends from home. Is seems like this team right now with Tibbs has an identity, and they all love Tibbs right now. What if there's a superstar who comes in and he's like, "Oh, I'm above Tibbs. I'm not going to listen to him." That's the only concern, because Tibbs is a defensive-minded guy. And obviously a superstar, you need that, no doubt. But Tibbs is going to say, yes, you're a star, you'll get your touches, you'll do this. But at the end of the day, it's team ball first. And I don't know, especially with today's NBA egos, how would that fit? That's my biggest question.
2 questions here. First, we'll go with Tyler Huey. Do you think Tibbs has learned from previous mistakes of burning guys out like Rose, Noah, etc.?
I don't know. He still runs these guys a lot. Mike, I was speaking to a friend the other day. He said Tibbs is a great regular season coach, but these guys get burnt to the ground.
There's nothing you can do.
And come playoff time, these guys are exhausted. And I think definitely you've seen it. I know, for example, with Nerlens Noel, Taj Gibson got hurt the other night. Sprained his ankle, I believe, in Saturday night's game against the Pacers. And Noel ended up playing 43 minutes or something that night. And then the next night was Pistons on back-to-back. He played another 40. And you saw me complaining when watching Sunday night's game. It was never a doubt the Knicks were in control, and Tibbs kept the starting lineup in.
Yeah, they were in there until they're up by 20.
Where's Dancing Theo Pinson?
Second question. Since there are rumors that KP, a.k.a. Kristaps Porzingis, wants out of Dallas, would you try to get him back in that New York Knicks orange and blue?
I can't stand that snake. Keep him out. That's all I got to say.
He'd be a nice 5 to have.
His brother's a big pain in the butt.
I think the fans would eat him alive for requesting the trade.
Brother agent.
I think he needs to go to Atlanta. Like I said, John Collins and more.
My Clippers pick. I'm sticking to it. Clippers would be a nice fit for him.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Well, I personally think he should stay put, but if I had to pick.
Well, did you see that shot he had the other night against Brooklyn, where he pulls up from half court? Dude,
Yeah.
Stop. I mean, who does this guy think he is sometimes?
It would be nice for next year to talent like this. Compare, but it doesn't really compare because they will play the 4, and like Bob said, I think you just need to I don't know. It'd be nice to have the talent, yeah, but not out of him, out of someone else.
So now, essentially, when looking back at that Kristaps trade, we got Dennis Smith out of that. That turned into Derrick Rose, and our draft pick turned into Emmanuel Quickly. So we got guards out of that.
Don't you have their pick again?
We have another one, yes, this year, their first-round pick. And it was nice when they were struggling at first, but unfortunately, Luka, he is that good, and he's found it regardless of how bad the rest of the team may be. Luka is a stud, and now the Mavs are starting to play some of their best basketball. But, hey, I mean, it's still their first-round pick. Definitely valuable.
Switching gears a little bit. Take it to the ice. Sabres have now officially reached a new low. The low of the low. Buffalo, no. See that? That's
no.
That's good. But yeah, they got shut out twice over the weekend. 3-0 both times. So that's 2. That's now 3 straight games against the Flyers without a goal. 2 of those shutouts coming at the hands of Brian Elliott, back to back. Shut him out a couple weeks ago before we came back, and then he did on Saturday. And then Sunday was Carter
Hart. I don't like Hart. He stinks.
It was Carter Hutton and that Saturday for the Sabres, and then it was Jonas Johansson on Sunday. Didn't matter though. Didn't score goals, so it's hard to blame him on a goaltender because when you don't score, you don't win. And they are now 6-10-3.
Winnable game tonight, at least.
That's the Rangers.
Yeah, they stink too.
Omar on the shelf for at least a month. That's tough. That's a tough blow. He's probably the MVP of the team this season. All the late game saves he's made and all the games he's kept them in, they really had no business being in. But like I said, goaltending doesn't matter when you can't score, really. But yeah, they do play the Rangers tonight.
No Panarin. The Panarin-less Rangers.
That's big for the Sabres. Will it matter? Because at the end of the day, can they score a goal? Justin, I'll start with you. Will the Sabres score a goal tonight on Igor Shesterkin?
Remember, no shutouts. Igor never has a shutout.
I think they'll score 1 or 2. This team just has the life sucked out of them, in my opinion.
So I think they might be like a tonight shutout away from firing Coach Ralph Kruger tomorrow. If you get shut out 3 games in a row, I don't know. Like that's tough to stand by. I don't know. The Sabres only seem to bring pain and suffering to anyone who watches them. Brian Purdy asks, have you considered that God has abandoned them? It really does seem like it, because it honestly just seems like ultimate bad luck. Like it's so bad that you really can't even believe it. Like those 2 games, Saturday and Sunday, were just very lifeless. Like it was very tough to watch. Saturday turned it off after the 3rd goal in the second period. I was like done. But Sunday, he was like, no, I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna watch this whole thing because I'm not turning it off again. What if they come back or something?
You love to endure pain.
They would, but I was like, we're watching this whole thing and we're just gonna see exactly what the problem is. And the problem, it's just not workable. But like tonight, okay, so like Dylan Cousins, gets his rest Sunday, whatever.
Cousins to some.
He's gonna have certain outfits throughout the year. He played in the World Junior, whatever. You don't want to burn out the 19-year-old kid. But tonight he's back in and he's playing with Tobias Reeder and Cody Eakin. Like, how do you want him to score? And we're keeping Okposo on the second line? Like, I don't understand. You know what I'm saying about you picking up what I'm putting
Yeah, it's just they put him in a position to fail, and he's been our best young player since, well, I guess Olofsson, but we drafted him back in probably the Reinhardt draft, honestly.
He's not one of these, fell first.
He's like a 6th round or 7th round pick, if I remember correctly. And we haven't in the draft. We missed on Casey Middlestat. I mean, he could still be good, but
Middlestat gets redirected, whatever, resent out back to the taxi squad where they bring Jacob Bryson back to play tonight. Why do you just not the team sucks? Guys like Tage Thompson and Casey Middlestat should play every night. Why not play the young guys as bad as they may be? Wouldn't you just give them the chance to play? Over the, why can't Okposo take it? You can rotate who takes that seat. Okposo, Eakin, Reeder, Sheehan, guys like that. I like Reeder. I don't mind him, but he's not, going to win you a game. They should just take turns taking a seat. Well, guys like Middlestat and Thompson should continue to be in there. And Jeff Skinner's another guy who should be in there every night. There should be no more of those healthy scratches. If you want to put him on the 4th line, fine, but at least give him, his 12 to 13 minutes a game. But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even know why Eakin honestly even plays as much as he does, because
actually he played Saturday. I think it was the day he played pretty well. He had 3 or 4 shots on net, if I remember correctly. But it's Cody Eakin, so we're not going to go in. It's Cody Eakin. Good try, but
I mean, he's up there, and if you look at advanced stats, he's up there with Stephen Fogarty and Okposo. So,
okay, so
numerous questions here. Yeah.
Does Tyler Huey, does Jack, meaning Eichel, want out of Buffalo, or is he playing hurt? I think something's been bothering him. Something's clearly off with the guy. I don't know. I think he's been playing hurt. He was definitely playing hurt on Sunday when he came back, but in terms of before that, I'm not really sure. It looked like he got a little nicked up in one of the games against the Devils last weekend, and then eventually tried to give it a go in the infamous warm-ups, and they said it was a new injury, and then Michael said it wasn't a new injury. So you already got your coach and star player on different pages here. Someone's lying about something. But yeah, I don't know. I think he was playing hurt on Sunday. He just seems out of it. Hopefully he's good to go tonight. But I think something's been bothering him all season, because this isn't Jack. He got 2 goals and 12 assists through their
I saw some Sabres fan made a Twitter account. I have more followers than Jack Eichel has goals. That's just tough times.
Bernie says Olofsson was a 7th round pick in 2014, which is the Reinhardt year. That's correct. So Olofsson is one of the good young guys that worked out, and he's one of the guys that wasn't even supposed to work out. He just came out of nowhere. But
he's been out. He's his bread and butter is on the power play. That shot is filthy.
This is a fantastic question right here. What do you think happens first? Eichel asks for a trade, or we fire Ralph Kruger?
Ralph Kruger. Say, it could be gone tomorrow morning.
I think if Eichel were to ask for a trade, then they'd be like, yo, like, if we fire Ralph, does this change things? I think that'd be a yes. So, like, I think, like, they could come back with that, but I think they'd have to fire Kruger before it gets to that point because I think they can read it. And like I said, like, that Eichel post-game press conference the other night, he couldn't wait to say that the injury happened. The injury didn't happen in warm-ups and it was a previous injury just to, like, prove Kruger wrong. Like, you can see it on his face. Like, it was awesome. I was talking to someone today, and that's exactly what he said. It seemed like Eichel couldn't wait to get out there and say it. Like, I don't think the two of them are on the same page at all. And I'm serious when I say I think that they're tonight's shutout away from firing tomorrow.
Yeah, no,
But
I could see it.
I could also see them winning, and then, you know,
I see them winning tonight. 3-1.
That sets things back, and it's like there's a slight glimmer of hope, and they'll lose the next 4, and they'll win again. We'll do the same thing over and over again. It's like that's why they've been stuck in this cycle for 10 years. Like, there is no hope. There's no hope. They all suck.
3-1 saves tonight.
Like, everyone on the team, even the guys with talent, at this point in their careers, are just so associated with losing that they just have no shot. So, like, I don't know. Like, it's tough. But, like, a guy like Eichel, I mean, you've been losing now for 5 years. It just seems like it's never going to break. Like, I don't know how he stayed here as long as he has. And, like, Ryan Howard, these guys that have been, like we said, since 2014. I don't know. And now we're drafting guys like Dahlin and stuff that they're just becoming associated with losing. And, like, there's just no fixing them. Like, they're just – losing's just become normal. And at this point, it's like, even these guys got to be thinking, are we ever going to be on a winning team? Like, I don't know. They'll start tonight, though. They'll never start. Probably will never start. But what's funny, Justin? What's funny?
Just the suffering that has happened for a decade.
But 7 o'clock tonight. Be there, be square.
3-1 saves. Coming.
Watch the whole game no matter what. Also, something I wanted to mention when we talked about the NBA, James Harden's number is going to be retired by Houston. That's interesting.
Should be retired in all the strip clubs. That's all I gotta say.
And Lloyd Pierce getting fired because he reminded me about coach firings, and then today all the Trae Young didn't like him and stuff, and that's what's going to happen with the Sabres. That's what's going to happen. But, good luck, Lloyd Pierce, in your next job search. We're going to take our second break. When we get back, we're going to talk some MLB. Spring training officially started Sunday, and then everyone's favorite locks of the night. So, like I said, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. You're listening to the MJM Grand Sports Talk Show on WSBU The Buzz.
Association of Broadcasters and this station.
And we're back. MJM Grand Talk Show here. Got like 10 minutes left. Like I said before break, some spring training baseball. What I just want to talk about how cool it was seeing Trey Mancini on Sunday.
Oh, bravo.
Get the standing ovation.
I want to give him one. I'm going to give him one in here. Bravo, Trey Mancini.
After being diagnosed with cancer last season, did not play all last year. Came in, got a standing O. His first at bat, laced a single up the middle, which I love to see.
Love it.
It was absolutely awesome.
It was just nice to see. I think they were playing the Pirates, I believe, and just seeing even all the players for the Pirates standing up, the catcher shaking his hand, and even when he got on base, all the position players going up to him and just saying congrats, and just it was a very nice moment to see, and just shows baseball remains classy sport.
No, it's classy.
Don't tell me.
Gary Stans.
Oh man, you Gary Stans. Give me a break.
Did he not go 450 to dead center?
Yeah, he did.
So am I wrong?
No, I'm just not impressed.
You go do it. See if you can hit it past the mountain.
Listen, he can hit a ball. When he makes contact, it goes far. The problem is he makes contact maybe 10% of the time, a little over, maybe 15% of the time.
Season hasn't started yet.
If he shows up, listen, I'll apologize.
If he hits 210 with 30 homers, I won't care.
No, I won't complain, but I don't think he could hit 210. He's a strikeout machine. Did you see his first at bat of spring training?
150 and hit 30 homers.
First at bat of spring training. I don't even think it was 4 pitches.
Did you see his third at bat of spring training?
Oh my God! Here we go again.
Well, I mean, we're just gonna talk about his strikeouts, but not the home run he hit that would have went across Lake Erie.
All right.
But we have Higgy.
Not a fan of Gary. We do have Higgy.
What will Higgy hit? 205 with 10 homers, and then we'll be okay.
Listen, as long as Cole's comfortable, I don't care.
Same guy who got rocked yesterday.
You see, now that's looking too much into it.
But Gary Sanchez striking out isn't looking too much into it.
Okay, fair,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
also that Gary Sanchez hitting a 430-foot homer is looking too much into it too.
So what you're telling me?
You and Twitter think it's like the best thing to ever happen. Like, all right, let's calm down.
Absolute bomb, was it not?
Yeah, well, everyone hits home runs.
That's not true. That's not true.
Home runs, guess what? At the end of the day, they all count the same, no matter how far you hit it.
It's true. It's the same thing as you guys that get all pumped up for dunks. Just lay it in. It's the same thing. You know what I mean? Ben Simmons on Saturday night against the Cavs.
Oh boy, Ben Simmons hate. Here we go.
He had a dunk to take the lead. And
He also had a three that was pure,
And he lost to the Cavs.
but it got the over.
That's true. That made some people happy. But no, like it's a layup and a dunker with the same thing. Why do people dunk it then? Like if you're gonna hit a home run, man.
All right.
Gary's back.
Oh God.
I hope.
Oh.
I hope he's back. Yankees won again today. Get used to it. But such a hater Ryan is who he says. Yeah, no kidding. Like, oh, we have Robinson Chirinos.
I just don't like Sanchez.
Robinson Chirinos straight up said he hates Yankees fans. Now he's a Yankee. Get this guy out of here.
I like Chirinos.
He doesn't
Chirinos
like-
says
he
it as
doesn't
it
like
is.
you. He doesn't like you. He hates Yankees fans, so he doesn't like you.
I wasn't
Get
at
him
the
out.
game.
Get
Yeah,
him
you know
out.
what?
Get him out.
Is he wrong? Yankee fans are leaving. Yeah, if you're so loyal, then why are you leaving? That was what, game 3 of the ALCS? Why are you leaving?
Why be paying a trash can for a year and help us win the World Series? He's classy though, right? Get him out. Get him out.
I just don't like Sanchez. I don't like Sanchez at all. That's why. Anyone but Sanchez. How about Gittins at catcher? I like Gittins.
Gittins, that's a hitter. Gittins' home run is one that I will look into. I will talk about that. Grand Slam.
Gittins. Now that's a player I can get behind you with. I love Gittins.
Speaking of Grand Slam, Fernando Tatis hit a Grand Slam. Threw his bat almost as far as the ball went. He's back at it. Love that.
Tatis is back.
Electric. But what I want to ask is Jake Odorizzi, still a free agent, an all-star 2 years ago.
Mets.
Is he going to sign? I think Blue Jays. Hello.
Good one. I have my top 3 destinations for Odorizzi.
Yankees?
No.
He always seems to pitch well against Yankees. That'd be
Yeah,
good.
but,
I saw him-
People pitch well against the Yankees.
That's true.
I'm just kidding.
like
I,
that.
But I will say, as much as I do hate on the Yankees,
Sorry, Mon.
Go ahead.
No, I could have walked through.
Okay, so my third one is back to the Twins, go back where he established himself as an all-star. Yeah.
I'm surprised they haven't brought him back already. He said he's back to the Twins for right there. But I don't know. I thought the Twins would end up.
Yeah, my second is also the Blue Jays, but my top is the Angels because
no, they need. I think Angels or Blue Jays, both teams that have good offenses that just kind of lack the pitching, and he helps that. Like, I don't think he'll be an all-star again, but I mean he's a good, solid arm to have.
You know what I'm thinking about?
Well,
we were just talking about it. Mediocre pitching, the Yankees never hit. Why? I don't know. Just thinking about it now. Well, why can't you hit mediocre pitching? But then, not during the postseason. During the postseason, well, if it's an elimination game. But during, during the regular season, there's a guy who may have dominated them who's an ace. Okay, yeah, of course, aces have their moments, but the Yankees will light these guys up, and then here comes some ho-hum number 5 starter who has a gut, and he's throwing 80-mile-per-hour meatballs, and the Yankees are whiffing. Like, what's going on? I don't get that.
Tyler Huey's doing some prospect watching. Just got to deal with Gary until Siegler and Austin Wells are ready. Austin Wells got into the game the other day, laced a single up the middle. It was the Yankees' first-round pick last year, and I think Anthony Siegler was the first-round pick the year before, if not 2 years before. There are catching prospects on the way. Just got to deal with Gary a little bit, and we'll figure it out. So I'm going to be calm and relaxed.
No soy Gary.
No soy Gary. Yeah, I'm a Gary. I am Gary. So Justin wants to see Odorizzi on the Angels. Me too, Justin. Angels or Blue Jays? Well, I don't want to see him on the Blue Jays because, like I said, the Yankees don't hit him. And then the Blue Jays, I mean, they're already almost better than the Yankees, so I might put them over the edge. But
where do you think Odorizzi would be in the lineup? Right at 2? Because Robbie Ray and Nate Pearson, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Nate Pearson's going to be a key for the Blue Jays this year in their staff because if he's going to be really good one day, and it's just if he can get there this year, that solves a lot of questions that they have in that rotation. I think Odorizzi, say he signed back in February and you're going into a season with him, I think he'd be your number 2 starter. But obviously, the later he waits, the less ready he is, and he's going to have to go to an extended spring to get his arm ready and whatever. But once he's in there, slotted in there, if he were to sign with the Blue Jays, I think he'd probably be their number 2. Like, say they get to the postseason and he's a pretty big reason to get there. I think it'd be Ryu, Odorizzi, and then Pearson. Those would be my top 3. But a lot of time between here and then. And then on a team like the Angels, he'd probably be there. I mean, you got Bundy, who was pretty good. Then you signed Jose Quintana. I think Odorizzi's better than Jose Quintana. I think he'd be their second best pitcher as well. So 2 teams that could really use him. I'm not sure what they're doing, but
just gotta see if the Angels properly utilize Ohtani or if they.
Yeah, they're gonna try to have him pitch again this year, and he'll throw his arm out again. That's what he does, and he'll still hit 30 home runs. But they're still gonna try both. I think he should be an outfielder. I mean, because he played good outfield in Japan. He's got good speed too. And obviously, the dude hits nukes. I know last year a little bit of a down year, hitting wise, but like we said, he had the arm problem. It's got to affect him at the plate too. I'm surprised he could still hit with the injury, but we'll have to see. Shall we get into our locks?
Locks of the night.
Chris Neverett, not pictured on screen, so he's not here.
Thank God.
He has Phoenix money line against the Lakers. Bucks -8, hosting the Nuggets.
Okay.
Chris is 7-7. He has split every time. All 7 shows he's been on, all 7 shows he's picked for, Chris has split. He's gone 1-1 every time. So, by rule, one of those bets will win, one will lose. Justin, we're going to go with you because you're also 7-7. Let's see if you and Chris can kind of, break somewhere.
All right. So my first one, I got 2 top 4 teams in college basketball. Illinois at Michigan. Illinois' leading scorer is out. So even though it's a pretty high spread, I'll take Michigan -7.
And some of the viewers may agree, some may not.
What Justin say? Michigan -7.
Michigan -7. He always says lock Michigan -6.
Oh yeah. Go Illinois, fighting Illini.
All right. So for my second one, over 5.5 goals. Lightning at Stars. The Lightning have Curtis McElhenney. He's expected to start. Yeah, but I think the Lightning will just score goals either way.
I can see like a 4-3 game there.
What was Bott's other one?
Over 5.5 Lightning Stars.
Okay.
Ryan, you're at 10-8. Me and you are tied. We
Ah.
don't mess around with those children at 7-7. We don't have time for that.
No, we don't play
We're
games here.
We're in the majors here, so let's get on to the real picks. Thanks for helping out, young guy, Justin. But yeah, me and Ryan will take
And thanks for helping out, Chris. I hope you guys are enjoying the minors.
You'll be here one day. I mean, Bott did. He was like 0-5, so Bott did.
No, Bott's on a tear right now. Yeah,
Chris has just been splitting. Chris is about to get kicked off the show.
Chris, that's minor leagues.
All right, what do you got?
Let's start in the National Basketball Association. The league. We'll go with the Wizards at home tonight, -1
I like that one
against the Grizz. Really like that one. The Wizards have been playing their best basketball as of late, and nearly, actually should have beat the Celtics the other night, and fortunately they collapsed. But they're back home tonight. I think it was a long road trip too, coming off a long road trip. So I like their odds tonight against the Grizz, -1. It's kind of a pick, basically a pick 'em. So I'll say I'll go with the Wiz -1, and I'll get them to 14-19, which, considering where they were beginning of the year, and especially in the Eastern Conference, that they can make some noise. And then we will go to the NHL, where I will say the New York Islanders on the money line tonight against the New Jersey Devils, who have been struggling as of late. I've been struggling too in my picks, and I feel pretty confident in these two. So let's hope that 10-8 turns into 12-8. Wizards -1, Islanders money line.
All right, me also at 10-8. I'm going to go Duke +1.5 at Georgia Tech. Duke needs it. They need it bad to stay in tournament contention coming off the loss Saturday against Louisville. I think they win the game outright. Yeah, that's my first lock. And then I have Winnipeg Jets -120 in the money line at Vancouver.
Nice.
Jets playing fantastic this season. Lost to Vancouver the other night. I think they get revenge tonight and get the win. And I think I'll be staring at 12-8 in the face. And Chris will be at 7-9, and Ryan will be at 10-10. So I think mine will win.
Yeah,
We'll
okay,
lose.
buddy.
Anything
bud.
Anything else you guys have to say before we skedaddle?
Said,
Sabres hockey.
Shout out to the producer, Tom Sipe.
As well in there. Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you, Tom Sipe, Tyler Smith, and just continue.
No producer sites tonight.
Unfortunate. Just continue to pray for the family of Dr. Dennis
Definitely.
DePiero. Very emotional week at campus, and hope family's doing well. So my thoughts and prayers are with the DePiero family tonight.
Thank you guys for listening. This has been the MJM Grand Sports Talk Show. I'll be back Thursday at 6. Have a good night.